Hello student, today we are going to study NCERT class 10th chapter 2 federalism. Now you're thinking that I heard the word this federalism when if you recall the class 8 that word used to come in the constitution where the word used to come in the federalism. Now you have the question, our India is the union, central or the federalism? So for recalling it, what is the federalism, why there is a need of the federalism, and now we'll go back to the previous chapter what we have learned in the first chapter that about the Belgium and the Sri Lanka, how they have the different scenario where in the Sri Lanka they have the disparity, they used to conflict with each other. There is a kind of like you can say there is a kind of the civil war where in the Sri Lanka the people used to conflict with each other. The people who used to use the Sinhalese language, the people who used to use the Tamil language, and the people who used to belong from the religion of the Christianity and Muslim, because they are in the minority. So most of the people who are in the majority they used to force them, they used to enforce them the certain rule that you have to their official language should be the Sinhalese rather than the Tamil, and what the religion they were most of the Buddhism. If we talk about the Belgium, they used to give the equal opportunity to each and every places just like the Buddha. Sorry, not a Buddha. If we talk about the Belgium, so in that case, what we can see that in the Belgium, the Dutch people, the French people, the German people, they used to give the equal opportunity where the people who the Dutch people are in the majority and the who are in the minority, that is the German and the French people. So they used to give the equal opportunity. They have the three tiers of the government, that is the central, state, and the community government where they used to do the work. So these things which we have learned in the previous chapter. Now in this chapter we will learn about federalism. The utmost important way, what the points we have to cover in the first segment of the video, that is what is federalism, coming together federalism, holding together federalism. So this all the points we're going to cover in this first segment of the video. First, what is federalism? Let us back to the constructs between the Belgium, the Sri Lanka. They show the last chapter. You will recall that one of the key changes made in the Constitution of Belgium was to reduce the power of the central government and to give the powers to the regional government. The regional government means the state or the area, the particular area government. Regional government existed in the Belgium even earlier. They had the roles and the powers, but all this power given to the government and could be withdrawn by the central government. Means all the regional government used to give the power, but all the powers should have only to the central government. The change took place in 1993 was the regional government given the constitutional power that were no longer depend on the central government. Thus, Belgium shifted from the unitary to the federal form of government. Earlier it was unitary form of government, means if you go to the back towards the Belgium, so where there are the unitary form of government where the only one government is going on, but in the federal government you will find the different kinds of the government. If we talk about India, yes, we are the federal kind of government where you find the different parties, and the particular, if you have the recall it from the class 8, we have the three tiers of the government that the federalism recall the different. The first tier of the government is the central government, or you can say the union government. Second tier of government, you can say it as the state government. And the third tier of government, you can say it as the local government. So the federal form of government, Sri Lanka continues to be for all the political purpose a unitary system where the national government has all the power. Tamil leaders want the Sri Lanka to become the federal system. Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between the central authority and the various constitution units of the country. Usually the federation has two levels of government. One is the government for the entire country, that is usually responsible for the few subject of the common national interest. Yes, there are the some in the federal government. If we talk about the central government, so whatever the things or whatever the plans they have initiated in the country, so they are the responsible for that. Whether it's good, so they are the responsible for that. If there is bad, so they are the responsible for that. So the other are the governments at level of the province or the state. They look after the much the day-to-day administration of the state. Yes, if we talk about this in the central government, they look after to whole nation. If we talk about the state, in the state government have to look after the state, the district, the administrative sector, and in under the administrative, you can say the local government, the MLS, if we talk about the panchayat. So in the local government have to look after the panchayat, the village, and the town, by which they are the responsible. When they used to do the good work, they are the responsible for that good work. If they used to do the like they take some decision which is not going to good for the country, so we can say that bad work. So these are both the levels of the government enjoy the power independent of the others. So now we are going to see where there is a federal government political systems, which is maroon in color. We can find in Canada, United States of America, where we find in Brazil, we will find in Russia, we will find in the Germany, we will find in the, sorry, not in the Germany, that is in Belgium, we will find in Spain, we will find in the Australia, we will find in India, in the Pakistan, we will find in the Australia, we will find in the Nigeria and the South America. Africa. So these are the countries where we find the federal government. You can see this map. First one is the, which I already explained, that is Canada, then the South United States of America, then we talk about the Brazil, then we talk about the Argentina, then we talk about the Belgium, we talk about the Spain, we talk about the South Africa, then we talk about the Russia, then we talk about the Australia, India and the Pakistan. So these are the countries where there is the federal government, means the all the power is not on the particular person, all the like they used to share the power to all the government. Whether if we talk about the India, the center or the union government, the federal, they used to come under the federal government. That are the three tiers of the government. First tier is the central, second one is the state, third one is the local. In this sense, federal contrasts with the unitary government. Under the unitary system, only this unitary system, either there is only one level of the government or the subunits or the subunit on the central government. The central government can pass an order to the provincial or the local government. Yes, the central government can pass the order to the state government and the state government can pass to the local government. So this is the duty of the state government where, sorry, this is the duty of the union government when where they can pass the their rules, or you can say that the law to the state government and state government to the local government. But in a federal system, central government cannot order the state government to do something. They cannot order the state government to do something. State government has the power for its own, for which it's not answerable to the central government. Yes, they have this some power. They have some autonomy power to the state government where they do not have to answerable to the central government. Both are this government are separately answered of this people. So these are the tasks which we are going to discuss further. That there are two more levels of the tier of the government. Yes, in our country we talk about that three tiers. The first is the union, second one is the state, and third one is the local. Different tiers of the government govern the same citizen, but each the tier its own jurisdiction. If you ask what the jurisdiction is the place where, if you talk about if you take the example of A city or the B city, so A is having their own jurisdiction. If we talk about the B, they are having their own jurisdiction. In this, the area of where which the someone has the legal authority, the area may be defined in the terms of the geographical boundaries or in the terms of the certain kind of the subject. Just I give you the example of if the country, sorry, if the area is of A and B, so the whatever the things used to come in this certain jurisdiction. If we talk about the A jurisdiction, so whosoever the authority, he has to look after that particular area. Just we talk about the city A. If we talk about the B, if he has in the particular area, so we can say they have the particular jurisdiction. The jurisdiction of the respective level of tiers of the government are the specified in the constitution. So the existence of the authority of each tier of the government is constantly guaranteed. That the jurisdiction respective level of the tiers of the government, all the three levels of the government are specified in the constitution, which is, you can say in the other word, it is mentioned in the constitution. So the existence of the authority of each tier of government is that is constitutionally guaranteed. It is guaranteed in the constitution that all the three tiers of the government have their own autonomy or their own power. The state government, whatever the things they are doing, the central government do not have a right to intervene in the state government work, and the state government do not have the right that they can intervene in the central government work. Now the third one, the jurisdictions of the respective level of the tiers of the government specified in the constitution, which I have already explained. So the existence and the authority of each type of government is constitutionally guaranteed. They have the constitution guaranteed that this much of the period you can work over here and this much of the period you can work over here. So each jurisdiction have their like autonomy of the power where this much of the year they can use to do the work. Now come to the four, the fundamental provisions of the constitution cannot be unilateral change by the one level of the government. The fundamental provisions of the constitution cannot be unilateral change by the one level of government. Such changes require the consent of both the level of governments. Like what kind of both the levels of the government, whether central and the state level of the governments, where they have the dispense protective. Now we talk about the fifth one. Courts have the power to interpret the constitution and the powers of the different level of the government. Yes, the judiciary have all the power if the central government or the union government and the state government they are not doing the work according to the constitution, the jurisdiction. So the jury, whether it's Supreme Court, the High Court, or you can say the Session Court, they have a right to intervene in the this side of work because you are not going to the constitution, you are not going to the not you are not going according to the right of according to the civil rights by which you are we are not benefiting to the countries. So these are the certain things which are going to come under the jurisdictions that the highest court act as an umpire if the disputes rise between the different levels of the government, maybe the union or the center, in the exercise of their respective powers. Now come towards the sixth, source of revenue of each level of government are clearly specified to ensure the financial autonomy. Yes, whether you talk about the union or the state, they have their own autonomy, they have their own financial structure where they used to give the financial structure. They have to, like if we talk about the central government, they used to think about the whole nation, and according to that they used to discuss about the budget. If we talk about the state, they used to discuss about the budget, what kind of the things we have to think about our state and the people, what kind of work you have to do. 7. The federal system thus has the dual objective. They have the dual objective to safeguard and to promote the unity of the country, with at the same time accommodate the regional diversity. Therefore, the two aspects of the crucial for the institution and the practice of the federalism means the federal system thus has the dual objective, means they have the safeguard and to promote the unity of the country. Yes, that is utmost important, the safeguard. Because of this federalism, because of the fundamental rights, we can say that in the federal system we are the safeguard because of the different parties and to promote the unity of the country. Yes, unity of the country is the utmost important thing of any of the country where you can promote it while at the same time accommodate regional diversity. Yes, accommodate regional diversity means like if we talk about the India, there is the diversity. You have to give the accommodation. You have to accommodate each and every people that they used to get the accommodation. They can live over there. They can express their view. They can live in the freedom and they can practice their religious beliefs. So the government in the different levels should agree to some rules of the power sharing, like they should also trust that each would abide by its part of the agreement. Each should be abide by the part of the agreement. An ideal federal system has both the aspect mutual trust and agreement of live together. That means the mutual trust and it live together. Now we talked about the exact balance of the power between the center and the state government varies from federation and another. Thus, balance between mainly on the historical context which federalism was formed. There are the two kinds of routes through which the federalism has been formed, like which we can say there are the two kinds of routes through which the federalism will form. The first route involves the independent state, means the none of the state is ruled by any of the king or you can say the dictator. So it should be the independent. Then we go further is that the balance of there are the two kinds of routes through which the federation has been the first routes involves an independent state coming together on their own to form a bigger unit. मतलब a particular in the particular state it is ruled by the CM, so he has the right that what kind of plan, scheme or initiative you have to start to take your state to the bigger level in the economic point of view, in a political point of view, in the federal point of view, in the you can say social point of view, in the culture point of view. You have to come at the bigger position, so as by the polling sovereignty, retaining the identity and can increase the security. Now we are thinking about the sovereignties. So our country used to consider as a sovereignty and secular, where we used to give the respect to each and every religion, irrespective of the place of the state you belong to, the gender, the race, the creed, everything. We used to give the equality, the freedom, and to express these views. This type of coming together federalism include the USA, Switzerland, and the Australia. In the first category of federal, all the countries state usually have the equal power and a strong vice versa the federal government. So like in this map, we have seen this country, they have the equal federation. They have the equal power to all the governments. Whether if we talk about our India, we have the three tier level of the government: union, state, and the local, where we can see that all they have the equal power, that they can enjoy their own autonomy over their own condition. Like if we talk about the legislature, executive, and the judiciary, the legislature having their own autonomy of power. If we talk about the executive, they're having their own autonomy of power. And if we talk about the judiciary, that they are having their own autonomy of power, because in each and every you can say the place, or you can say the rank they have, they enjoying their own power. In the first category of federalism, all the constituent states usually have the equal power as strong vis-a-vis the federal government. The second rule is where the large country decide to divide its power between the constituent state and the national government. India, Spain, and Belgium are the example of the kind of holding together the federation. In the second category, the central government tends to be more vis-a-vis state. Very often, different constitute units of the federation have unequal powers. Some units are have the guaranteed special powers. Now we come towards the holding together. Like some is having the same kind of power, some are not having the same kind of power. Each and every country have the different power, the different scenario, but they used to equally distributed this power. Now come towards the next. That is what makes India a federal country. That is the utmost important. Before going to that, we're going to discuss this story. What this story tries to say that let us, some Nepal citizens were discussing the proposal on the adoption of the federalism in their new constitution, where the new constitution become they like first they are following the interim constitution, which is not made in the 2000 till 2007 when their constitution made. So they want to include the federalism. Why they used to include the federalism? Because that is what the some of them said. Khagraj, I don't like federalism. It would lead to the reservation of seats of the different caste group as in India. The Khagraj said that because in the federalism there are the different reservation system in which we find the different seats. Sarita, ours is not a very good country. We don't need the federalism. The Sarita said that our country is not a very big country, so we don't need a federalism. We talk about the Babu Lal. I'm hopeful that the Terai areas will be get more autonomy if they get their own state government. What is I said that there is own autonomy, means they're having their own powers, so they get their own state government. If we go further, the Ram Ganesh, what he said, I like the federalism because it will mean that the power that were earlier enjoyed by the king will now be accessed by the elected representative. Yes, it is true that in the federalism that earlier the powers which is enjoyed by the king, now in this case, the whosoever the elected representative, he is used to enjoying that power. Whether we talk about the union government, whether we talk about the state government, or whether we talk about the local government. So by this comment, we come to know that in the federalism, the person who is elected and the person who is the representative, you can say the leader, they can enjoy the power just like the king. The earlier, if we talk about in the ancient times, how the king used to enjoy the power, so just like that, that only the people or the elected representative, they can enjoy the power just like the king. Now come towards this, why make the India as a federal country? Right now in this segment, we're going to discuss in the brief view. Later on, we can discuss in the broad view what India is considered as the federal country because in our country we have discussed about lots of things like whether the three tier of the government each have their own autonomy or they're having their own power. They used to like whatever the capacity they have, what the geographical area they have, according to that they make the plan and they regulate it. We have earlier seen how the small country like the Belgium and the Sri Lanka face so many problem of managing the diversity. Yes, they have the diversity. If we talk about the Sri Lanka, the Sinhalese, the Tamil, the Muslim, and the Christian. If we talk about the Belgium, the Dutch, the German, and the French people. What are the vast country like India, which so many languages, religions, and the regions? What are the power sharing arrangement in our country? Let us begin with the our constitution. India has emerged an independent nation. Yes, we are not under any dependent nation. We are the independent because we are not dependent on any of the biggest emerging countries, just like the US or you can say the UK or the Russia. We are the independent. Painfully in the bloody partition, yes, because of the 15 August 1947, they got partition between Pakistan and the India, where it is very much painful in the bloody partition. Soon after the independence, several princely state. Now you can recall it from the class 8 what the princely state is. The state which is ruled by the king. That is used to call it as the princely state. If we talk about the the provisional state which is ruled by the ruler, you can say the Britishers, they will consider the provisional state. Become the part of the, not the princely state, become the part of the country. The constitution declared that India as a union of the state, although it did not use the word federation. Till now, the 15th August 1947, they did not mention the word the federation. The Indian Union is based on the principle of the federalism. Let us go back to the 7 features which we have. We are going to discuss in the next segment. So right now I am giving you the brief view of this. Let us go back to the 7 features of the federalism above. We can see the above feature applied to the provision of the Indian Constitution. Constitution will provide the two system of the government. Union government, or we call it the central government, representing the union of the state and the state government. Later, a third style of the federalism we add to the form of panchayat, the municipality, which we are used to call it as a local government. As in any federation, the different tiers enjoy the separate jurisdiction. The constitution clearly provides the threefold distribution of legislative power between the union government and the state government. Thus, this contains the three lists: union list, state list, and the concurrent list. This we are going to learn in the second segment of the video. In the first segment of the video, that we have learned about why we used to call our country as the federal country. What do you mean by the federalism? So in the federalism, there are the you can say the sharing of the power, the different level of the government. They are not having the one form of the government. They are having a different form of the government, and each and every you can the party or you can say the each and every government have used to share the powers. If we talk about the Belgium and the Sri Lanka, they earlier they had the conflicts. If we talk about the Belgium, there is only the one or the unitary party which is having all the powers. But as the time passes, they used to make they used to change in their they used to change in their constitution that each and every person on the linguistic basis they can give them the opportunity, that is they are the equal, whether you talk about the French, whether you talk about the Dutch, whether you talk about the German, all the people are what they are the equal and they do not have to go fight further. So in this case if we talk about in India, because it is diverse, all the people are belong from different regions, state, they used to speak different language, they have the different ideas, they have the different ways to communicate with the other people. So like the way of their living, the way of the culture, they have the different, the way they used to express their ideas, their beliefs, their views, all are the different. But in India we have the mostly the two tier of the government, that is the central and the state. Each is enjoy their own power, their own autonomy and different level. Then we talk about the third level of the government, that is the, I used to use the word the local government, means where that used to come the municipality and the panchayats, so in which they used to enjoy their power. In the second segment of the video, what we will learn about the union list, state list, and the concurrent list. In the union list, only the union government used to do the work. In the state list, where only the state used to do the work. In the concurrent list, union and the state all together used to do the work, that is used to call it as the concurrently. So this is I give you the brief view. In the next segment we will going to learn in detail what they trying to say is. Then we coming together and federalism. Yes, all the parties or you can say all the governments come together. If we talk about the central and the state government, and they used to do the work and they used to take the collective decision for the nation, so what kind of works they want to do for this nation and what kind of work they do not want to do for the nation. They collectively take the decision that what kind of plans they want to regulate, what kind of the scheme they want to regulate, and what kind of schemes they want to regulate. Then holding together the federalism, in the holding together federalism in the sense they form the unity in the government means in any of the democracy unity is utmost important. If we talk about India, like we are the diverse in each and every field, so the unity is the utmost important. So we want the federal kind of government. Therefore we have discussed this story with the Nepal's talk about he don't like the federal government because there are the reservation system just like the India. Other one is said that federalism it goes because the earlier the king who enjoyed the power, now the if the whosoever the person is elected or whosoever the representative, he enjoys the power just like the king. So we can say that the federalism is the good for the country rather than the other things. In the map which we have seen, like which are the country who used to use the federalism. The first one we can say the Canada, then the United States of America, and then we talk about the Brazil, we talk about the Argentina, we talk about the South Africa, we talk about this Belgium, we talk about the Spain, we talk about the India, we talk about the Pakistan, we talk about the Australia. So they used these are the countries which they used to follow the federalism because federalism is a most important part of any of the democratic country where you are. We are sharing your powers with the all other the peoples where you can think of that like each and every person can enjoy their power. That doesn't mean that all the power is restricted to the particular person. You can share your powers with the different person as well, by which you can make the effective or you can say the valuable decision for the nation, for the people, and for the other countries. These are the such scenario which we can say that the federal government or the federal is utmost important. Then we have also discussed that the Indian Constitution till the 15 August 1947, when the Constitution made on 26 November 1949, we didn't mention the federalism or you can say the federal government. But later on in the few years when we appealed our Constitution, that we mentioned this. We the country India is a federal where we are the sovereign, we are the secular, where we respect every religion irrespective of where they used to come from. Like the word is equality is utmost important in the Indian Constitution, where all the person are equal. We used to provide them the freedom of speech, right to education, right to liberty, right to set up their own cultural institution. All this used to thing which we mentioned in our this thing like we used to get the independence on the verge of the partition, or you can say the bloody partition, in the sense like the partition of the this particular country. One is the India and another is the Pakistan. So like we want the federal kind of the government where each and every person, those who are the representative or those who are the leaders, they can enjoy the powers and they can have their own autonomy. If you think in another way, if we used to give the power to the particular person who is the elected representative, so he has to think of he used to think of like for the nation only. Like I have the powers now, I have the burden on my shoulder that I have to take the nation towards the different level. Right now is you can say like it is at the lower level, by making the plans, by starting the number of initiative, by making the scheme, and by changing in the law, by providing the security, by providing the food, by making the different structures, and by making the numerous of things which is beneficial for the people, which is beneficial for the state, which is beneficial for this nation. So whosoever the person is there, if he used to give the power to them on the basis of like if it is from the central government, state government, or you can say the local government, so they can take the nation to the different level, at the different perspective. If we talk about the social point of view, economic point of view, political point of view, cultural point of view, religious point of view, education point of view, if we talk about the employment point of view, in each and every sector they used to take to the nation at the different level. So this is the first segment of the video. In this second segment of the video, we will discuss about why and what is the federalism in the deeper sense. I hope you like this video. Thank you.